Testing. Hopefully I have audio. It looks like I have audio. Let me check the audio settings. Yeah, it sounds good. Let me know. It might be a bit louder than normal. We are live streaming from the YoloBox Extreme. It's unbelievable. It has been a uphill battle any way you slate it. So let me just say this. It is not a lip sync is off. Okay, well, let's see. I have 420 seconds of lip delay. Let's change that to... That's 300. Let me know if that is better. Peter Piper pecked a peck of pickled peppers. So I changed it to 300 milliseconds. So let me know if that's any better. That's a decrease of about 25%. So about 2.5 frames. So let me know. Still learning how to get this working right. I'm going to go ahead and hit record now and hit start. So I'm now recording a little better, but still off. A bit better, but not perfect. Okay. So can we go back to... This is 200. So we've gone from 320 to 200. Let me know if this is any better. So we'll figure out what these settings are. It goes by milliseconds, not by frames like the Blackmagic ATEM, but welcome to the stream. If I'm either talking ahead of my voice or my voice is talking ahead of my lips, spot on. So 200 milliseconds is what it is. And looking better, try, okay, so let's see. Tony says 150. I will try it then. That is 150 exactly. So let me know. Peter Piper pecked a peck of pickled peppers. Anyway, this will make a great recording tonight on the live stream. Let me turn my audio down on my phone. So I like it. Tony likes it. So welcome, Tony, to the first hour. Much better. Thank you, Hank. Now, I will just say this. I have chat working, but I don't have overlays working. So what I can do, let me do this real quick. I could do this. Let me go back up here and Tony says greetings. So let me show you what I can do. I can do this and completely lose me altogether. I did figure out how to chroma key, but I do not have a green background on my OBS link. And I can't remember how to do that. So I'm still learning. So tonight I may not be able to display the chat. I am learning. Let me tell you this. It has been a crazy day trying to get the YoloBox Extreme to work. So basically, you link the YoloBox with your YouTube account. The first time I did it wrong. So basically, if you just make an event and you post it, it went automatically live. In fact, I was making changes just up to a few seconds before I hit go live. So it went live automatically, and I don't know if it's because I didn't have a timer, but then tonight, I was able to, later this afternoon, do another one, program it and schedule it to go live at 3:33. And then I noticed there was a spot where I could go ahead and link YouTube with my YoloBox. And then I went into YouTube and I saw that it was there and it wasn't going live. It was waiting for me to hit live, even though it was after the start time I had set. So I apologize if you were confused, if you couldn't find the still image for tonight's live stream. I am working on that. I'll do some more testing this week because I started a Tuesday early going live from the YoloBox. In fact, that is the YoloBox multi-view behind me, as you can see. So I can change the layout. We got recording happening. We've been live for 13 minutes and 20 seconds, and you have the inputs. I have a multi-view layout ready, and it's up there showing. I've got NDI coming in right here from the Rodecaster video, my main camera, and then I also have tonight this camera angle, and this is the Yolo Cam S3. I don't have the light set for this. I would need to change to this light setting, and this is more designed for that way, but I didn't expose it right, so we will go ahead and go back like this because it's too late for me to change the exposure in. No, it's not. Actually, in the YoloCam S3, we can change the exposure, so I will fix that here momentarily, but thank you so much tonight for your patience. So last week we put the cage on the YoloBox, and we added the sunshade, which I have off tonight. So here's the sunshade. It is off the cage, and I'll give everybody a quick tour of the cage in a little bit, NDI on my phone, but we're going to do that a little bit later. So what we're going to talk about tonight is what happened today when I went to go live and open up and fire up the YoloBox. I noticed there was a push from YoloLiv for me to update to a new firmware. Now, my understanding is that firmware was going to offer Stream Deck control, but I tried to go get the plugins off of Stream Deck's site, and they're not there yet. But I'll show you where it says in the update notes where it has enabled Stream Deck control. There's a new way to stream with RTMP. It's called, I think it's called Fast Track or something like that. I can't really demo it tonight because I'm streaming from the YoloBox and I can't exit out of the screen when I'm live streaming from it, or everything will shut down. But I will shoot a video on that as soon as I figure it all out. I tried a web overlay tonight, and that didn't work. There are some new layouts that are available in this new firmware update. So not only did it enable Stream Deck control, which we're still waiting for the plugins to be available on Elgato's Stream Deck site, and then we have the ability to do a fast track for streaming, though I haven't figured that out. It's RTMP. I went ahead and linked my YouTube channel to YoloLiv so that when I go live in my YoloBox, it will then, I'll be able to link it to my YouTube channel, and then it should pop up on the screen. Why the earlier one went live automatically without me hitting the go live button, I don't know, but thanks to David from Australia, who messaged me saying it says I'm live at like 1 o'clock today, 1:30 or so. So thank you so much to David. So I'm still recovering from a little cold, but let me take a sip real quick from the back cup. But let's continue to say hi in the chat. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the overlay here, even though you guys will not be able to see me. Let's see. Let's do a layout here. How about this? How about this? No, that view won't work. How about this view? And what if we go, oh, I can't do the overlays in these layouts. So, bummer. So I'll just put this up on the screen. You're just going to see the chat. Hi to Tony. It's good to have you. We also have Cyber Gizmo. It's good to have you. We have Highlight Gam Media. It's good to have you as well. Doug is here. Doug Force is here in the house. David is here, who rescued me earlier. Hank is here from Bluffton, South Carolina. David from Down Under. Let's see, am I missing anybody else here? Hank is telling me about lip sync. I think I've already said hi to Hank. K9 Striker, Sean, it's good to have you here from Paris, Kentucky. Jay, it's great to have you here as well. saying hello and great to have Noah Gaming 701. And then Glenn from Vegas, it's good to have you as well. And I think I hit everybody now in the chat. If I missed anybody, please let me know. And that's the only way I can display chat tonight, because I have not figured out yet how to get it to be a transparent overlay, and I'm so sorry. So let me do this. Let me go into YoloLiv's site, and let's get SuperSource on here, which is what I'm going to call it just for sake of a different way to call it. Let me create a SuperSource here with the right two cameras. How about that? Did I lose my PC in my stream tonight? It actually looks like I did. So cancel. Done. Done. So let me go back. I am missing my PC in the stream. So let's see if we can figure out what is going on. I think it's just not seeing the duplicate here. Yeah, what do we got going on here? Let me see if I can fix this. Stand by. Display settings. I need to duplicate one and let's see, identify. Three. So let's see if we can duplicate 1 and 3. There we go. Keep the change. You filthy animal. Okay. So there we go. Let me enlarge this and I'll try to get myself in the frame here. So I got my reading glasses on. So this is YoloBox or YoloLiv's website on the YoloBox Extreme. And this is the YoloBox Extreme version history. So let's take a look here. Am I looking the wrong way? Looks like I am. Can I reverse this? No. So I apologize, I'm looking the wrong way tonight. Let's see, how do I fix that? I'll do this for right now. This has got me looking the right direction, even though there's two of me up there. So if we go down here to this latest installation, version 2, what is it? It's version 2.3.0. It says Stream Deck support, number 1. A new quick mode with single RTMP streaming replaces the original monitor mode. So it's like a, what do they call it again? It is called the quick mode. A telestration support, full screen only. So I haven't played with that. Multi-view now supports more custom settings, border, rounded corners, and positioning. HDMI out audio now follows HDMI out settings instead of monitor audio. So that's an update. Drop-down menu now displays CPU, GPU, and RAM information and supports fan speed settings. So you can just swipe down on the front of the YoloBox. Though with the cage on it, I am finding it's a little hard to get to the edges And remember, this is a touchscreen, and some of the menus are all the way on the edge. So keep that in mind if you do buy the cage from YoloBox. So add S3 camera, MF function settings, manual focus, I believe was what that is. Add S3 or web control now supports the recording tab. Added Turkish language support. So if you need Turkish language support, there you go. Other interactions and performance optimizations. So there is the update. So not only do you have Stream Deck integration, you have all of these other features as well, and even more controls on the YoloCam S3, which I have one tonight. So we'll open up those settings and take a look at that. So just seeing if there's anything else. Bug fixes. When the countdown overlay is locked, it is now set to mix audio only under the locked position. And here is a countdown overlay I created just to demo it. And so evidently there is a lock function. Other bugs, added filtering and blocking for video types with compatibility issues when adding to the video source. So if you have some videos on your hard drive in the YoloBox, or you have them on a SD card, or you have plugged in an SD drive, let's see, like I use these, many of you guys know. And so if you have one of these plugged in and you've enabled it to transfer data, this is supposed to protect you from using a video format that's not compatible. Fix an issue where manual IP configuration for a wired network was not possible when no wired network was connected, for whatever reason you would use that for, and fixed occasional crashes due to recording. So there was some issues evidently with recording, and so that is supposed to fix that. So there are the new firmware updates, and I will show you now that if you go over to Stream Deck and click on their little website here, and then we search for YOLO or YoloLiv, nothing, YoloLox Extreme. And I would think it would be under just YoloLiv because it will work on, I think, 4 of the devices or 3 of the devices, the Extreme Ultra. And so it is not popping anything up. And I did link a video in the description where Frank from YoloLiv was explaining a few weeks ago, I think, when he did the video about the beta release that some people were testing. I wasn't given the beta, but for whatever it's worth, he said that he had not yet uploaded the ability to get that package so you could use the Stream Deck functionality, which is interesting that they pushed me the beta version. But I did email my contact with YoloLiv last night saying I was going live today. So maybe they pushed it to me and it was beta, but I have no idea when it's pushed to me. It just comes in and it's not beta, and it's been posted on their site, and they normally do not post betas on their site. So, okay. So let me go through the chat here and just see. Okay, we dealt with all the lip sync issues. Let's see. Just going through the chat. David says, the interesting thing is the video doesn't seem as sharp. Well, I set it for 6 megabits a second. And I am coming directly from my USR into the YoloBox. I could have increased the quality. I'm not streaming 4K tonight, but I will do a test in the weeks to come of this camera 4K. Now, just keep in mind, when I do use this camera 4K, it crops on the Canon EOS R. So I have my 16:35 so I can be as wide as possible. So that when I do turn on 4K. That crop hopefully will still let me frame my shot like this. Right now I think I'm set at 20, so not sure because the crop is 1.73, I think. So let's do this. Can I do the math here real quick? So if I'm 16 mil times 1.7 equals, that's going to take 16 mil to 27 mil. So I'm going to have to scoot my chair back a little bit, and the crop will be a little bit different that night when we go live, because the widest lens I have is this 16 to 35, just for your guys' information. So thank you, Tony. So he said 16 people are watching. Hit like. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I need all the help I can get. And as you can see, I have not figured out how to get the overlays to work. I'm using OBS like I normally do. I have a black background, and it looked like I can enable in the overlays, I can enable chroma keying, but I don't have a green or a blue background. And those were the two choices in the YoloBox keying app. And so, and I have it on. You just double check. That one doesn't work. This one doesn't work. And let's see me hold down my mouse. Let me hit edit. Right now I have, let's see, video overlay done. No, that's not it. Where is chroma key? Yeah, that's not working. Get the right camera here. Let me click on this. So it says flip horizontal, chroma keying, name. So if I hit chroma key and I have chroma key on, but I do not have the ability, there's a choice between green and blue. And I don't think this is going to work at all. And I adjusted it the best I could, but that's HDMI 2. Let me create one more overlay, video source, HDMI 2. Let me make it, I'll make this one a little bit smaller so we can see it. I'll try the overlay. Yeah, it's not working. So not sure what the deal is here. If I let's see. Let's try that. Still nothing. Let's go this way with the similarity setting, hit done. And I still am not getting any transparency. So that's going to be a work in progress, figuring out how to get that to go. And I have no clue on how to see the chat either. I can see where I can invite a guest function, which we will test next week. I have a linking page, overlay page, audio page, recording page. I have a scoreboard page. I have a replay page. I have audio follows video. But I do not have any other links on the bottom here. And how do I get back to my regular page here? I'll go back to overlays. Yeah, I don't see any icons to access the overlay feature. Or now I've seen other people use it live, and on the right hand side they have their chat. So just so you guys can see what I'm talking about, let me do this. HDMI out. Let's do mirror the screen. So down here below, I have all of these icons. Here's invite guest. I could enable it right now. It would work. Here's audio follows video. Here is replay settings. Here is scoreboard settings. Here is the encoding settings. Here is recording settings, so I could do ISO recording. Here's the audio page. Here is the overlay page where I'm trying to figure out how to do a transparent overlay. Then this is where I could link my different sites. I've only linked YouTube. And then this is for signing up for their account. And I think this is network bonding, which it is. So you can spend $299 a year for network bonding or $29 a month. And so, but there's no icon down here for chat, and it makes no sense. So I guess I have more learning to do unless someone knows how to do this. I have looking at a Stream Deck integration documentation. I could not find it anywhere. No plugin in the Elgato Marketplace. Does it directly connect to the YoloBox Extreme? No, I don't think it connects directly to the YoloBox Extreme. It goes through your computer. So the YOLO deck does connect directly. So if you buy a YOLO deck from YoloLiv, then yeah, that connects directly to the YoloBox or whatever device you have that's compatible with the YOLO deck. But you would have to have a PC opened up and your Stream Deck hooked to a PC and then have the plug-in. And then I believe it controls the YoloBox from the network connection. So you're going to want to have your PC and your network connected, or your Macintosh and your YoloBox network connected, and your Stream Deck plugged in, or have the network adapter for the Stream Deck to get everything integrated. And I don't have the network adapter. I think that's for remotely controlling devices from another room, but it should work inside your studio as well. So they do make a network adapter. You plug your USB-C into it. You have to have power over Ethernet, because then you can power it through the Ethernet port in the adapter, and then that would then power through the USB-C port. But I don't have one of those adapters, so I don't know how that works. But again, in the description tonight, you're going to find the link. I posted it in there, and that's the video where Frank is talking about the Stream Deck integration, and that they're going to upload it, I guess, when it's ready, and maybe it's just not ready yet because it is not currently available in the store. I was hoping maybe by the time we went live tonight, it would be. So, but I do not get any device when I search right here for it. So back on this camera. So there has been a firmware update. There is some new features available in it, some new layouts. I believe that this is a new layout that's available inside the device. I think this is a new layout right here. Let me this is a new layout. Sorry, I should have enabled that. Let's try this again. Where are you? This is a new layout. Here is another version of that layout. I think these are new, but I'm not 100% sure. But they are giving us some new layouts, and you're supposed to be able to do rounded corners. I have not found that feature yet. So if I go into overlays, and you're following me right here, and I click on customize, I've never used this before, so I could add a source, and let's just add this camera. So I do not see rounded corners yet, so I can shape it and drag it around. Not sure what that was. Can flip it, I can crop it, I can position it. Let's see, so I can flip, crop, yeah. So I can do a free crop for, so I can crop it in all of these 1x1, 9x16, 4x3, original, go back to the original, there's 4x3, and then I could do free, so I could make it, oops, that's the drop-down menu. Might as well show you that. So it shows you the drop-down menu and all of the status right here on the screen, so you can see my inputs. I do have one coming in, HDMI 5 at 4K. What is HDMI 5? Let's go back here and find out. Let's go ahead and hit save right here, and we'll come back to this. 5 is, what camera is that? That is my Osbot. So this is the Tiny 3, so it's coming in at 4K, but I'm not streaming at 4K. But this is my remote control, and I do have it plugged in tonight. So that is camera 5. So again, I didn't find any rounded corners, but it does say on the YoloBox site that rounded corners has been enabled, but we will have to figure that out. So, okay, let's continue in the chat here. I am going to... Thanks for joining us. It says, Dan FS, hi from Fashion Island, Washington. Sorry I can't just pop the chat on the screen. Let's see. I received an update, not a beta. Yeah, so there's another person that got the update. I don't know why they don't have the Stream Deck functionality yet available on the Stream Deck site. Hello, Grish. I haven't figured out how to do overlays, so I can only just put the chat up in a box. I guess I might as well make chat huge if I'm going to do that. So let's just go ahead and do chat full size then. So now when I do bring it on, it is full size. So hello, Grish. Okay, so the chat should be in the platform tab at the top. It's a secondary menu somewhere. Platform. Okay, so let's go to platform. And there we are in platform. So I've got replay at the top, which you can turn that on and recording. That's my live stream. Platforms. Streaming mode, direct single platform by default. Stream encoding. Here's all of my links. Maybe, I don't know. That's SRT. This is a custom RTMP. So, yeah, I don't see it. Again, Really hard to get training on these devices, so especially the YoloBox, but I haven't watched all the videos in a while, so I do not see it anywhere here, but if you guys see it and I'm missing it, the settings wheel just opens the general settings, so that's not it. Streaming mode, direct single platform stream, default encoding. You can see it's 1080p, 30 frames per second. Oh, it's 4 megabytes a second. So I must have changed this when I was streaming earlier by accident. So that is why the signal is not as quality. That did not get changed, and I can't change it now. You need to change that. I had it earlier set to 6 megabits, sorry, not megabytes, megabits a second, but it's only 4, and that's why, David, we are not streaming as same quality. So, okay, I don't see it there, so if you do, you should have chat somewhere. Let's figure it out. Yeah, let's figure it out. I don't know where it is, but I would love to figure that out, Grish, so help me figure that out. So it's not here. It's not here because this is to activate my account. It's not here where we already looked. I don't see any buttons I have not clicked. I've tried to click this button and nothing happens. And chat might be there. It's just covered up by all of these screens. But if I tap on them, I have to be in one of these menus. It's not like I can get out of all of them. So it could be in overlays. I can't figure out how to just go back to a default setting. And I can change modes. I mean, I could change modes if I wanted to, but okay. The bottom menu scrolls horizontally. The bottom menu scrolls horizontally. Nothing's happening when I scroll horizontally. If I pull down from the top, I get that screen. If I pull up from the bottom, I get nothing. Let's try it in this menu. Nothing scrolling. Oh, wait. Something's trying to scroll, but it's not. Okay, it's there. After the guest tab. I have nothing after the guest tab. So after the guest tab, it just stops. So evidently it's something not enabled, perhaps. I mean, I could enable guest feature, and it's enabled right now. So, disabled, done. What else? You should be able to add a web overlay, then add the pop-out chat URL. Okay, so let's click on web. Already have one. So let me go back to overlays. I added a video. Where is my web overlay? Yeah, here is my web overlay. And then if I click on a chat, nothing happens on that. But again, I'm using OBS. So edit. That did nothing. So let's delete this. Done. Let's add See, add an overlay down here. Can I add a web overlay? No. Yeah, web URL. Yeah. Should be able to add a web overlay and add the pop-out chat URL. Yes, lower bit depth makes sense. If you open the three dots, there is a menu config. If I open the three dots. Oh, hoop, there it is. Hoop, there it is. Hoop, there it is. I never realized that you could scroll left. There's the chat. So now let me get me back on camera here. Turn the overlay off. Oh, yay! I feel really good now. I can tap on the chat. I can see the chat. Wow, that is so cool. Here's an audio setting that I couldn't find. Here is the transition setting. But there is chat. I don't like the location. So how do I change the location? How do I edit the location on the screen? Because the chat right now is covering up my logo. So if I take my logo off the air, chat then is down on the bottom. So let's try a bigger chat and see how it fits. So let me go back to chat. Let me go up here to a longer chat. Yeah, it's on the very bottom of the screen. So there's got to be a way for me to change where that location is. Okay. Well, maybe you guys know, but I cannot figure it out. But that is really cool. The bottom menu scrolls horizontally. Thank you. That's cool. Grab the guest tab and scroll to the right. Thank you, Grish. Good to have you. This is the Ancient Voice 9272. It's good to have you tonight. And the three dots at the end. Yeah, so I'm not sure. The three dots bring up all the different menus, so I can take them out. But I have all of them. There's nothing under more tools. So, and I'm sharing the screen so you guys can see what I see on the YoloBox itself. But now, so how do you reposition it? So, would be great to know. There's got to be a way. So you would think that this is automatically built as an overlay. It doesn't show up as my inputs. So let me scroll to the very top and see if there's any settings. No. Let's put that one up there again. I mean, it's definitely inside, but it's not where it really should be. So I'm not very happy with the location, though it works. And I could have it on or my logo, and I have to scroll to be able to bring the logo back on. But just want to say, welcome to the show. I am learning the YoloBox and the stream live. I already made the mistake that I'm only streaming at, where is that setting? 4 megabits instead of the 6 megabits that I normally stream on my ATEM. So that's a bummer. But we have found the chat menu. Could be. Let's go into the menu system. Where though? Let's see. Could be anywhere. Okay, main menu, classic mode, show performance status, show title, center, video source, double click, local video, HDMI out, USB-C, enabling it or turning it off because you can bring a webcam in or a disc in. Why chat's off the air, let me just put this back on the air. Back to settings. SD card, internal storage, app and web control. That's not it. YOLO deck configuration. That's the YOLO deck that we're talking about. Now there's Stream Deck capabilities, so it's not there. That's the settings menu. I don't see a option for chat. If I'm in chat and I click on settings, oh, that's interesting. I don't know what that is. Looks like a edit screen. So but I don't know if I want to mess with that live. So there is a little icon on the top when you're in the chat. It's this icon right there. And when I click on it, it brings up this screen. But if I hold my finger down on those, oh, template. There we go. Interesting. So let's do all of them. Well, scale. Done. Done. Let's put the logo on the air and just see what happens here. Let me hit one of these big ones. Yeah, that's too high. That's a super chat. So that's got the red on the top. And thank you for the super chat, by the way. You're a rock star. So thank you very much. I've been looking at the Stream Deck integration documentation. I could not find it anywhere, not plug in. Yeah, so we talked about this earlier. Sorry, I did not notice it because I'm in the YoloBox that you gave me a super chat, but thank you so much. I'm going to try to rearrange this so it looks nice. So let's go away from it and back. Yeah, that's a better location for that. So, oh, I found out where we can resize it. But I'm definitely going to leave that super chat up for a few minutes because, man, I appreciate that supports the channel. And now we're able to do overlays, and with your guys' help, team effort, I now have a clue on how to do overlays and how to get them on the screen. So that's exciting. So now I should be able to use my Skycam. So it'd be nice to figure out how to do that. I got my Skycam and OBS enabled. I'm screen projecting in here. That's my Skycam, but so far I need to be able to make this a smaller screen. I could do let's see, I could do this and then do me and my Skycam. Then add my background. Done. And then switch to it. Did I switch to it here? Except for I'm in the wrong box. So let's edit this. Let's edit. How do I switch boxes here? Reselect screen. Let's do this first and then me maybe. That's much better. Let's do my background and click. Oh, wow, here's where the circles are. Way cool. So I am now in a circle. Yay, I found it. It's in the setup screen. So I should show you guys that. Let me click on here and edit. Edit. So it's right here along the edge here. I can do all these different shapes. So, and I can change the border width and the colors. That's cool. And put myself in a circle. I need to do my background. And there we go. I'm in a circle and I have my Skycam. So if I had my software open for my Skycam, let's get it open here. Might take a second. Insta360 link control software. And I do have a video. It's almost ready to post. I mean, I'm down to the last 1% item that I have to do. So let me wake my computer back up. And once that opens up, I will move the Skycam around the screen. So that will be fun. Let's just continue looking at the chat here. So is there a way to extend the touchscreen to an extended monitor without losing video output? NDI, you can do program out, but I don't think you can do any touch sensitive stuff. So let's see if Skycam changes here. It did. So let's go back to my new layout right here. And so now I can move the Skycam around. I need to change cameras here. There we go. So that's my Skycam. And yeah, I'm not aware of any control with an extra monitor. So you're asking for a touch screen, and I do not think, I mean, obviously what you have is an NDI out. So if you had something that can receive NDI, you'd be able to use that. So you could have an NDI encoder or decoder or bidirectional encoder decoder, and then have that HDMI plugged into a device. But that would only be program out is all that it offers in NDI. And I can show you guys where that is. So we go HDMI out it says, let's see. Why do I not see NDI right now? Let me go back. HDMI, yeah. So here's NDI out right here. So it's program. Can you guys see that? Let's go to a different view. So it's program right here. And so if I turn NDI on, now let's go to, let's see, HDMI outs. I can control what goes to HDMI outs. I can do mirror, a custom out, program out, multi-view out, but the NDI out is program only, and that was a question I had last week. So it is only program only. So I don't know if that helps you, but I'm trying to help. So, and Tony gave me a super chat for my persistence. Well, we're live, and I don't plan on being live. Last week I did over 2 hours and 15 minutes. I don't plan on being live a real long time tonight. I was going to demo the Stream Deck controls, but there is no way to get Stream Deck software. Sorry, my computer timed out. It's not been uploaded to the site yet, Tony, so I can't do that. Again, I will show you guys a tour of the stand and my layout here. In fact, now would be a good time to do that. So let me fire up, get out of YouTube. Let me fire up the NDI app. Now, I've downloaded the app from Rode called Rode Capture, and it's a free NDI app. And so I'm bringing it up and going. I'm going to unplug my phone. So now the NDI app is going, so it sees me. So it sees that. So I'll show you guys this. So there is my setup. So I have my two extremes behind it. I have my Rodecaster video right there. I have the YoloBox Extreme in the cage. Let me just take Tony's chat down again. Thank you, Tony, for that super chat. I really appreciate it. And so you can see I have the Rode Wireless Go 2 receiver right here. And then I have the transmitter on me, and that is coming through the cable right here into the back. And so here is the line in. I have the power cable plugged in, nothing in the USB-C port. Then I have this going into the line in. And then you can see what I have plugged in. And I do have some of these nice locking brackets locked. So on the side of this cage, you have a cold shoe, and then you have some screws. I am going to buy some add-ons, but I wanted to see how these cold shoes work. And so I have a cold shoe there. And then I have some attachments right there on the bottom. So I could put it on a tripod, or I could build up some things on the bottom. I don't know what I would build up. And then I have some more, another cold shoe right here. And then I have these hookups. So you can see I have different threads, so I can do some attachments. I'm even thinking about getting a monitor arm that would go up and over. Let me just do a layout here that's got me and that on here. So A will be this, and let's see, I will do B like that, and there we go, done. So where is that now? Boom. So now I'm on the screen facing the wrong direction. I'm sorry. So I have those hookups, and then you can see underneath right now, I'll lift this up. I have the bracket that is adjustable right there to hold it up at that angle. And then I could twist that up even further. So let me set the phone down here against my Rodecaster Video, and I'll reach under here and tilt it up more. It's very stiff. There you go. So now I have it at a steeper angle. And you can see there's some mounts in the back. So you can mount things to the back like an SD drive. So now it's tilted up more. So you can kind of see how it's tilted up on my desk. There is my Rodecaster Pro 2. There is where I can click on the chat if I was using OBS, which I'm not. I'm now using the chat display inside the device. So again, Tony, thank you so much for that super chat. It means a lot to me, and also for this super chat earlier, way back here somewhere. Where is it? Maybe it is gone now. Don't know. But thank you so much for the super chats. And that is persistent. So again, I got the Rodecaster Video here. It is streaming NDI out. And here is the NDI in from the Rodecaster. So there you guys can see the Rodecaster NDI input coming into tonight's stream. And then I could make that live. Let's see, is there anything else? Yeah, so I could be switching back and forth in the Rodecaster Video. That's what it looks like. And you can see that even better if I turn my overlay off. So that is the Rodecaster NDI coming in. And that is the NDI coming in from my phone. So I have two NDI inputs, an NDI input from the Rodecaster coming in, and I can change what that sends out, I believe. Looks like there's a new firmware update. So let's go over here and see video. There's NDI, and then I have it set for multi-view. I can set it for program, camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, camera 4, camera 5, 6, because I have a Rodecaster Video, program preview, or multi-view, and I have it set right now to multi-view. And that's where I think it's saying that I have a update for the Rodecaster Video. So it'll be interesting to see what they've updated, and maybe there's some new features now inside the Rodecaster Video. That would be totally cool plus two. So I'd love to see some updates so we could get some more features in the Rodecaster Video S, and the Rodecaster Video Core. And if you don't know anything about those devices, Rode came out with a new core that links up to your Rodecaster Pro 2 and your Rodecaster Pro Duo, and you can use the buttons on your Duo to control the Rodecaster Video Core, as well as your faders and all of that. And you'll not only get the 2 channels inside of audio inside the Rodecaster Core, because it's exactly like a Rodecaster Video S without all the buttons, so it's a little bit cheaper. But in reality, you have buttons already if you own a Rodecaster Pro 2 or a Rodecaster Pro Duo. And so Rodecaster Pro Duos have two XLR inputs, and a Rodecaster Pro 2 has 4. And so you'll be able to control all those through the Rode software. And I'm sure this might have something to do with updating the Rodecaster Video S. Maybe it can now link more effectively with that new device. So here's my Sky camera. That is the Insta360 Link 2 shooting down from up high. And so that's a webcam that you guys can see tonight. This is a webcam that I have control over right here. So I can zoom in and zoom out. Here's a close-up of my new and improved skinnier face. But I still am sporting a little bit of a double chin. But we are working on that to get ready. I love this because I have presets. So here's preset 1. preset 2, and then preset 3, Tony Stark. So back to preset 2. I could have showed you the setup on my desk earlier if I just remembered I had this preset all ready to go. So, so no background on this layout. I could do a video background, edit this. Let's edit it. And let's add a video background. I only have this one. So that is actually a video background playing in the background. So pretty cool, the things that you can do with this device, all the different layouts, different inputs. I did, let's get back to this. I did play with SRT, and I got it working yesterday. So I was able to go from, I believe, I'm trying to remember, OBS, SRT out. So let me show you the steps here. Let's see, let's go to add a source. We're going to go to SRT listener, and then it gives you this address right there. So I'm not going to do it tonight, but that's the address. And then you would go into OBS, and I'm going to let it open up here. Run in normal mode. So after this opens up, I'll show you where you would go. And I will put a link in the description tonight of how to do SRT. So you can go SRT out of OBS, and then you can come in through an SRT listener in the YoloBox Extreme. So let's go like this right here. So inside the YoloBox Extreme, how do we get my head on the right side? We'll use this layout for right now. So we go up to File, and we go up to Settings, and then you go to Streaming, and you do a custom setting. You put the address in here, and you click on Done in the YoloBox Extreme on the SRT listening page. You click on Done, and then after you click on Apply, you click on Done, and then you click on OK. Let's check the address right now. Let's just see if this might work. So I'm an SRT listener, and let's just go ahead and click OK, and then I'll click on Start Streaming. You guys can't, yeah, you can see that. I'm going to start streaming. We'll see if it works or it gives me an error. Failed to connect to server. So it worked for me yesterday, but I'm getting this failed to connect to server today. But there is a brand new YoloLiv demo on how to use SRT from OBS and some other devices, and that's really cool. So OBS would be able to send in an SRT feed inside my YoloBox. And again, I tested this and had it working yesterday, but I can't get it working today. And it's probably because I need to watch the video again and redo the steps. I'm probably doing some step out of order. So, okay. So I found that super chat. I'm going back here to try to find the other super chat, and now it is gone. Maybe it wasn't a super chat. I don't know. Okay, so any other comments? Let me go back into the chat. Yeah, I think that was the only super chat. So maybe it was just an overlay test icon. I might be wrong, because I was in the settings here, and when you click on it, and I moved it around, I clicked Done, but maybe it wasn't. So greetings, it's Tim Morrow from Down Under, thank you so much for joining us. I went live tonight for the very first time. 4 megabits a second. I meant to go at 6, but I'm only at 4. So sorry, the video quality isn't the greatest, but thank you for joining from Australia. Late start, you're great. Thank you for joining us. We've been playing around. The chat helped me figure out where to get these overlays, so now I know how to enable chat. It actually works automatically, and if I was streaming to more in one location, I should get Facebook and Twitter and YouTube at the same time, all in the same chat stream with different colors and groupings at the top, I believe. And at the top of the screen, you can see I have Keith Bennett, YouTube, and I have favorites, so I can go through and favorite these like the super chats. Let me go through, I'll favorite Tony's. So if I click on favorites, it should sort those. I'll go back here, see if, I'll do Grish's, the bottom menu scrolls horizontally. That's on the air right now. I'm gonna make that a favorite. And then Sean is hinting that he wants me to have a map so that his pin would have been on the map, but I don't have a map feature enabled yet. So now if I go up to favorites, it just lists those favorites now. That's really cool. So you can do some sorting as chats come in. There's an all icon. There is a Keith Bennett icon. Not really sure what that means. Favorite icon and all. So go figure. And great to have you, Toto, from Germany. Fototo, hello. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. So late joiners. You can see tonight we are, let's get out of this mode here. Let's go back to record. I have 216 gigabytes available in the internal storage. I've now used almost 5 gigabytes recording. It's going up right here. And I can record internally. I could record on my SD card. But this is fast RAM, and that's what I'm going to use to record. And then I can move those files as well when I'm done. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So cool. Well, so on the bottom also, we have an audio setting. I don't have any audio on my disc. Then I have the transitions, the fade, the wipe. And these are only going to work if you're not in the classic mode. And I'm in the classic mode right now. I'll show you guys the non-classic mode. I don't know what will happen with chat when I do this, but see, now I'm in preview program mode. So if I go on chat, chat then appears down here. So I would have to just keep scrolling, but it still works. Thank you so much, Hank, for that super chat. So now I'm in preview program. I am recording, and I have a stop button on here to stop. And I can do a replay. If you guys would like to see a replay, let me know in the chat, and then we'll set up a replay live as well. So thank you so much, Hank. Hank's been a part of the channel for forever, and I really thank you guys for those super chats. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. And we're going to be live from the YoloBox for a while. I will bring in the Rodecaster video so I can play around with it live, and we're not in the ATEMs at all tonight. I'm using the multi-view when I'm not showing you guys my screen, and I will change back to multi-view right now. And again, thank you, Hank, for that super chat. So let's see, how do I get out of here? Done. Settings move to down here. So out of HDMI 2, there's HDMI 2. I'm going to change to multi-view. So here's tonight's multi-view on the screen. So the nice thing about the YoloBox, and I'm actually using the Wireless Go 2 tonight, I did not plug my Rodecaster video into the YoloBox. We will be doing that next week, so you'll be hearing my regular microphone and a wireless modem. But tonight I wanted to test the YoloBox and how it would work remotely if I took it and my Rode Wireless Go kit. And here is my other transmitter that is set Bluetooth to my Rodecaster Video 2, and this one is going to the receiver, and the receiver tonight is plugged into the YoloBox Extreme. So that is my audio, but I could bring a guest into tonight's stream. So again, let me know in the chat if you would like to see, go back to chat, if you guys would like to see a replay. So again, Hank says, I'm always impressed how you approach each new challenge. I don't know exactly what I'm doing that impresses you, but I can tell you, Hank, I was a bit stressed today. In fact, it was David from Down Under, David Osler, who let me know in the chat that I was live. I did not know I was live. I thought I had to hit the go live button, but for some reason it automatically went live. I had to delete that live event from my channel, and I'm still trying to figure out, like when I go into YouTube, I set up an event, it goes under my my YouTube channel, and then I can copy the links and put it on Facebook and LinkedIn, and I can put it on my web page, Life Journey Productions web page, and that's where you go if you want to. Let me get that up here real quick. Let's go here and here. That's where you go if you want to join us for a town hall meeting, which will be coming up in, I believe it's May is when the town hall is scheduled. Also, that's where you would go and fill out this form. I have to hit transitions now. Fill out this form, and it's right on the bottom of the contact page, and it's lifesjourneyproductions.com, life's with an S. And then you fill out this form, first and last name, that you want a free 1-hour consult if you've never used it before, or you want to join the town hall, which we do, then I will be able to invite you to that. So you'll need to have the link. Let me copy the link right now. And I will see if I can't pop that in while we're live. I don't know if I can or I can't. I don't want to screw this up. So let's go to live. So I'll just continue the chat while that's refreshing. Yeah, I think I can pop it into the notes. Reach out for a free 1-hour Zoom consult, one per person. So the link is in the description now. I'll add more verbiage to that later. But now I'm making transitions because I'm not in classic mode. So everything you see has to be transitioned from preview to program. And that's where my preview is, and that's where my program is. So if I made a transition right now, you guys would be looking at my YouTube notes and my channel. So let's go back to my page. And again, now you're seeing my web page. That is the contact page. This is the home page to my website. And then if you want to see all my videos in order, you can go to my web page. And if you scroll down halfway, here are all of my videos on my web page, and you can just scroll right and go back through all the videos that I have posted on my channel over time. So now I have to remember to hit transition. So, okay, in the chat, I asked if you guys wanted to see a replay. Would be cool to see a replay in action. So Tony voted yes. So let's see if we can set up replay. So we're going to go into settings. And I need to go to the replay screen. And we're going to turn replay on. I'm going to go 50% speed. And I'm going to replay. Let's see, what do I want to do? Show in and out. 1080p, 30 frames per second. Mute other audio sources doing replay. I will mute me while it's replaying. And then I'm going to do the intro and outro reel. And also, it's going to say replay. We'll do this one this time. And hit done. And let me just double check. I think I have to pick what channels to select replay source. So we are going to do, what should we do? We're going to do my HDMI 5, which is my Insta360. No, that is my YoloBox Tiny 3. And then I'm on 4. So we'll replay both of those. Okay, so we're set there. So I'm going to turn replay on, continue. It's going to take some CPU here, so get ready. We're going to take Tony's comment off the air, and I am going to hit an endpoint. And an out point. And we will play the There you go. That was a replay including the scary face at the very end. And I apologize for my mug. But that was replaying my main camera and my YoloBox Tiny 3 camera. And I had the audio muted. I had it set to 50% speed. And you can make it even lower than that. So just so you can see the replay settings, everyone, let's go back into classic mode, and so X out of that, and then we're going to go back to replay settings, and then we need to go into HDMI out. I got to find the main settings here. HDMI out, HDMI out 2. We're going to mirror now. Go back to instant replay settings. So there are the two clips that I had. So there's clip 1, there's clip 2, and then replay settings, and I can't tap on that screen. I wish I could, but there is the replay settings. And if I had HDMI camera 1, HDMI camera 4, so that is my YoloBox Tiny 3, and that is my EOS R right there. So if I hit the select inputs, got to turn replay off. Get replay to go off. So now I got replay off. So now I can reselect the inputs. So I can choose all the inputs I have right now. So all the way down to SRT. Even though SRT is an input, but it's not working. So anyway, I could have had replay on all of those or none of those. So if I just wanted camera 5, and I can go more than 10 seconds if I want, but right now I'm set to a 10-second limit. And then again, There's all of these options. Here's where you have the intro reel and the outro reel. Here's where you have replay enabled. So it says replay on your replay. So HDMI 1, let's turn HDMI on 1. Let's hit in area. Out. And out. So really cool to have the replay features, and now we have actually demoed them tonight live. So that's for Tony. And yeah, replay, Grish says, replay seems niche, maybe too slow to do an actual production on the device. Yeah, it does take up a lot of CPU. I was doing 50% speed on that replay. You can set it up to 100%. You can go all the way down, I think, to 15% speed. Let's look at that real quick. If I can find out where that is again, let me click on sources, replay off. I'm trying to remember where the speed is at. Show play, seconds, always display. Yeah, now I'm not seeing where it is where you can slow the replay down. You can enable tags. Yeah, I don't see where that slowdown feature's at, so I apologize. So you're welcome, Tony. And waiting for this last one to come in. Jay says, replay really should be down by a dedicated operator with a special equipment. Absolutely. I mean, for a one-man band, yeah, Jay, I agree with you when you're doing a big production, but a lot of these people are doing small sporting events like hockey at their school, or so for someone who's just a one-man team, having replay built in would be great, but obviously TVJ works for a TV station and does big productions, and they would have someone dedicated to do instant replay, and I would totally concur with that. I should see if I can record someone running replay to see how fast they move. Yeah, so it'd be great for you to put on your show. Jay has his own live stream, his own channel, so check out TVJ. It would be a great live stream. You talking about replay and having footage of someone working in a live production truck. So I don't mean CPU speed, I mean to actually settings it up and going live with the replay. Usually there are dedicated people for replay and they use different replay devices. Yeah, Grish, and that was exactly what Jay was saying. But yeah, you would already have it all set up. So before you would launch your live stream or your event, if you had 3 or 4 cameras, or you had a goal, a camera on 2 different cameras on a goal, again, you would have to pick that camera specifically. So if you had 4 or 5 cameras, you'd either have to have them all enabled or just the 2 cameras on the 2 goals. And you don't have to replay instantly. You can have it go ahead and record it, and then you can go in and adjust which one you want to play. So you could have camera 1 on goal 1 for hockey, camera 2 on goal 2. You can enable both of those to record an instant replay, have it set to 50% speed, have replay enabled, and right before they score a goal, you would hit in, and after the goal was scored, you would hit out. It would then ask you, do you want to replay it immediately? You would say no later, and then you'd have to go into the replay settings and choose which goal you wanted to replay, and then hit replay now. And again, that's right up here when you are setting up the tags. You can actually go in. I'm trying to find that particular menu. Yeah, and I'm not finding it right now. But there is replay mode, preferences, always play now, always use later, ask. So right now it's set to ask me, and I'm just looking for a, oh yeah, here it is. So this is the screen. So if I didn't want that camera, I would just unclick it, and I would say replay selected. I'm going to delete the other one. And I hit exit replay. So I can exit at any point, or I could play that whole sequence, but I've been able to check just the replay I want. So if this was goal 1, this was goal 2, I would set it to play later all the time. I would set my end point right here. Once I set my end point, you can watch it click down. We're going to go 100% speed right now. We're going to enable it. So I'm going to click in. And now I'm going to click out, 3 seconds, 4 seconds. Now I've clicked out. I'm going to hit use later. And now I want to go ahead and play only that new replay. And that's the only camera I had selected for that particular replay. And that was at 100% speed. So once you learn the layouts, it could be pretty fast. But I do agree that it would be great to have someone else operating the replay. So yeah, you hear the stream in the background. That is coming from... Sorry, it's coming from my computer. So I apologize. Okay. So that is fixed. You shouldn't hear the stream coming in the background any longer. Now it's interesting that the chat is coming up slower on the YoloBox than it is from my my other screen, which I have the chat popped out. So again, it pops out on YouTube. It's a slight bit faster than when it comes into the YoloBox Extreme, which is expected because it's got to go from YouTube back to the YoloBox. But that's cool that I'm broadcasting to YouTube and it's receiving chat from YouTube. That is a really cool thing that I see here. Okay. Can you set up a macro to do all that with a single button? You will be able to probably set up replay buttons in the new Stream Deck functions, but I've never had one, so I don't have an answer for that. But Stream Deck Control, or the dedicated one from YoloBox, I'm trying to remember what that thing is called right now. I'll find it here real quick. YoloDeck, I think it's called. At least that's what I remember it being called. So, yeah, I would think YoloDeck is directly plugged into the device. I'm sure it has the ability to add replay buttons, though you'll have to watch some videos online. I've never done any research on the YoloDeck, which is YoloLiv came out with their own deck. It's not called a Stream Deck, it's called a YoloDeck. But that's a great tool that plugs in directly through the USB-C port, I believe, in the YoloBox or YoloBox Extreme. It'll probably plug in to either one of the USB-C ports as well. They're A, so there's one USB-C port in the back and there's two A ports. They're all fast ports. And the YoloCam S3, which is this camera right here, this camera right here, it is controllable inside the device. So if I go into camera settings, I literally can go in and lower the brightness. So let's turn my lights on. that I normally use for this angle. And then now let's adjust this. Let's see, brightness settings. Way too sharp. Manual, 1/60th of a second. Let's bring the ISO down further. That looks decent, maybe a little too dark. ISO 200. And then I could go up here now and click on the plus icon. Call this Keith S3. Confirm. And now I have a Keith S3 setting that looks like that. I can get out of it. So now I could use these lights, and then if I want to cut to the other camera, I would use these lights. So yeah, I love the fact that you can actually control the YoloCam S7 and the YoloCam S3, and they're talking about coming out with a YoloCam S5 really soon. That will be really cool. Let's see. So answered that. Once we get the plugins for the Stream Deck support, which is now enabled in the Stream Deck with the latest firmware update, which I updated my YoloBox today. That will be ability eventually once the store has those devices. That would be great. We'll be able to mess with those settings. Let's see. I think the replay looks really low quality. I wonder if it compressed it. Could be. So again, remember I'm recording at 1080p, 30 frames per second. It may have compressed it. I don't know. I'll have to play with it more. But you might be correct. It might be compressing it. So again, remember, I'm slowing down 30 frames per second. So you'd be better off to have 60 frames per second if you're going to do slow-mo. I'm actually streaming tonight at 30. I'm recording at 30 frames per second. I think if I go into, let's see, let's go back to settings and let's go to HDMI out. Let's go back to multi-view. And yeah, it doesn't tell me what, I'm 29 frames per second /30, and I am only streaming at under 4 megabits a second. Got to say that right. It's not megabytes, it's megabits. But it doesn't tell me anything else other than that. It doesn't even say 1080p. It'd be nice if it said not only the frame rate, but also the quality right there. So then if I go into replay settings and look at video sources, you can change from video sources, you can loop, you can do order sequential, random, and then there's other settings in here. Start auto switching. Oh, that's right. I am actually in, sorry, I'm not in replay. I'm actually in the settings for audio follows video. I apologize. So I'm just looking for the replay quality here. Replay encoding settings, 1080p, 30 frames per second, 6 megabits, H.264 CBR. So I would probably be able to go higher quality if I was streaming higher quality, but we'll have to test that at another time. So could be. So last thing I want to do is this. So we installed the cage last week. I gave you a tour around the YoloBox Extreme cage. I bought the cage with my own money, but just so everybody knows, YoloLiv did send me the YoloCam S3 to test, and if I liked it, to do videos, and I've done some videos on the YoloCam S3, a couple of them in my upload folder. So one on the camera, one on the software. I have an Insta360 Link 2, which was also sent to me, Pro. So the Pro version, which is the same size sensor as the YoloCam S3, that video should be out later tomorrow. I didn't want to release it today. It's done. I wanted to release this today and then have a different video come out tomorrow, so you can check that out. That's about 41 minutes. It's a tutorial deep dive into the Insta360 Link 2 Pro camera. I have a 2 and a Link version 1 in the studio. They're both half-inch sensors, but the Link 2 Insta360 Link 2 Pro is a 1/1.3, and that's just a tiny bit, 4% smaller than the OBSBot Tiny 3. So the Tiny 3 is the best sensor I have in my studio, and again, that is camera 5 tonight. And I'm not bringing that in, guys, as a webcam. That actually is coming in as a UVC to HDMI camera. So it's actually plugged in HDMI into my studio, and you're seeing it through HDMI input number 5 in tonight's YoloBox Extreme stream. So been over an hour and a half. It's a lot of fun. Again, I'm going to stream again from the YoloBox next week. Going to try to solve more problems. I'd like to display SRT next week. That would be really cool. Also want to figure out how to bring in my Skycams picture-in-picture with a still image. So what I normally do is have my still image up with Skycam overlaid. So we'll turn off my overlay right there. So I can do Skycam, so that's at a smaller percentage. I just need to figure out how to place it on the screen so that you guys can have a normal stream where I do my intro video with the Skycams up there. That will be a lot of fun. So that's next week. Going to talk about SRT next week, and we're going to bring in guests next week. So we're going to use the guest feature and bring in some guests, and that ought to be a lot of fun. So if you would like to be a guest next week, all you got to do is be able to open up a link that I'll send you. So I would need to have your email. So if I don't have your email, I can't send you a link. And the way to get your email to me is simply go to my contact page again, and this link is in the description. So go to my contact page, fill out the form, and give me your email in that box right there, and just say I want to be a guest in next week's live stream, and I would be happy to bring you in. So I'm going to bring in 1 or 2 guests at least at the same time. We're going to have a layout to do that. Who knows? We might use something like this as a layout. I'll be in one, and my guests will be in the other 2, and will be a lot of fun. Or I might just bring a guest in a layout like this. So you would need to get I need to be able to email you the barcode. Actually, it's called a QR code, sorry. And you would be able to click on the QR code with the photograph part of your smart device, and then it'll open up a link. You enable your camera on your smart device and your audio on the smart device, and you'll be able to find a nice lit place in your house, and you'll be able to join me live. I'll enable your video live and your audio live, and we'll be able to talk back and forth in a live stream. Again, that would be next week, and that will be a lot of fun, I think. But until we do it, we'll have to see. Do I have, yeah, let me turn off replay so that this thing isn't being overworked, and let's cut back to the main camera. So any other comments or questions that you guys want to have answered tonight in the chat? I don't see any other chats yet. The last one is Grish's. I think replay looks really low quality. I wonder if it's compressed, is the last chat I have. So if that's it, that's a live stream for the very first time ever from my studio on the YoloLiv YoloBox Extreme. It is their biggest unit and has the most features. There are other great YoloLiv boxes like the YoloLiv Ultra. So check out YoloLiv's site. I will put a link in the description as well tonight. And again, thank you YoloLiv for sending me the YoloBox Extreme to check out. I don't get to keep it. I need to send it back, but they're letting me use it because I'm continuing to make some videos on it. And I bought the cage, so I want to have a YoloBox Extreme in my studio as part of my kit. So I'll either buy this one or buy another one. We'll see, or buy a used one off of Marketplace. Time will tell. But I love the device, and I think it's a great device. I'll mainly use it mobilely, but I have some ideas of how I can use it and maybe even do some events with it. So we'll see how it goes. And I love the bonding feature. I love the ability, you can put a SIM card into it. You can use USB dongles. You can use an Ethernet port. You have wireless built in. You can use your phone as a hotspot. And so lots of ways to stream outside of a studio with the YoloBox Extreme, and I'm excited to test those things. So next week we'll be in the studio, and then the week after that I'll be out of town cruising down into the Bahamas, which will be fun. I'm planning on taking some video footage and bringing it back here and showing you guys that. Then the week after that, which will be I think the third week of April, we will remotely stream from the YoloBox Extreme, so I might go over to the Country Mercantile and stream right upstairs there, depending on when they close. I need to check out the hours. I need to do some tests. But thank you so much, guys, tonight for helping me figure out how to use the chat overlay and where chat is inside the YoloBox. So a lot of fun, and it'll be fun next week to use the invite guest feature, which I think is incredible. If you have the CPU and the web speed, you can bring up to 5 guests, I heard, with the YoloBox. So, okay. So, again, if you enjoyed tonight's stream, give me a thumbs up. That would be really cool. When the Insta360 Link 2 Pro video goes live tomorrow, I hope you guys will watch it. Again, it's going to have chapter markers in it. It's quite extensive. I still only cover about 78, 90% of the features. I cover all of them, but I don't dive into the whiteboard mode. I don't dive into AI, which is a paid feature. Some of the AI recording and stuff is paid. So, but it is a very thorough deep dive. I compare it to the OBSBot Tiny 3, my Canon EOS R, and I also compare it to the YoloCam S3 side by side. And so that's a great video coming out tomorrow. Hope you guys will watch it and like it as well. So that's it for Keith Bennett live in Life Journey Production Studios. I just want to double check that there's no more chats here. I just saw something come in. It should pop in here any second. Thanks, Keith. Great stream. That's from Tony. It's just not on my YoloBox Extreme. I'm waiting for it to pop in. Let me click on all. Yep, it's all. There it is. So thanks to you too, Tony, and thanks to everybody who helped me sort some things out with the YoloBox Extreme. Some of you are asking me to stream from it, when I was going to stream from it, so now it's been official. We seem to get through most of that stream without a hitch. So again, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I am going to mute my mic and roll the outro and say goodnight. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you guys with me every week live. It does mean a lot. Those of you that are new, I love you too, and thank you. I just don't want to be on here by myself, so I love every minute of it. So that's it. I'm Keith. Let's roll the outro, and I'll see you again next week.